Welcome back to Eagle Classics. Bridgewater football reached the ultimate stage in 2001, becoming the first and still only Eagle team to play in the national championship game. After a thrilling and controversial last-second semifinal win versus Rowan on their home field, the Eagles moved on to the Stagg Bowl against powerhouse Mount Union. BC was the last Virginia-based team to play in the Stagg Bowl in Salem, Virginia, and when the Eagles took the field in front of a large Bridgewater crowd, they could not have gotten a better start to the game. Ultimately, the Eagles would fall one score short, but of the 13 national championships Mount Union won between 1993 and 2017, this would equal their closest title game scoreline.
The mountains around Virginia are alive. Tonight, two teams meet for the national championship of Division III college football. Inside the Mount Union locker room, the Purple Raiders in a familiar routine. At times, this title game has seemed like the Mount Union Invitational. 5 times over the last 8 years, this small Ohio college has taken home a title. It has been one of the greatest runs in NCAA history. And last year, Mount Union won a squeaker over St. John's to keep the dynasty alive. In the other locker room, one of this year's great stories in college football. 3 years ago, tiny Bridgewater College was 0-10. Tonight, they're 12-0, and they'll try to cap a Cinderella season. Their road to Salem, an incredible one. Twice in the playoffs, they've scored in the final seconds to advance. Tonight for a national title, Bridgewater and Mount Union. Tonight for a Division III national championship, Bridgewater and the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz along with Chris Spielman. Welcome to Salem for one of the great traditions in college football. Chris, these may be small schools, but they do have big stars. And let's start with the quarterbacks. Let's start with Jason Lutz and Rob Adamson. Two guys who get it done in different ways, but they do get it done.
Yeah, these are two good guys to start with. First of all, you got Jason Lutz from Bridgewater. 26 touchdown passes. I like to think of him as Woody Dantzler of Division III. He has over 900 yards rushing. He can do it all. Then you got Rod Adamson from Mount Union, your classic drop-back passer. He has 25 TDs. He's 6'4", he can see over the line. There's not a throw he cannot make.
It doesn't hurt either quarterback that when they turn around, they get to hand it off to a couple of All-Americans. Devon Cruz and Chuck Moore really help both ball clubs.
You're right, the two best running backs in Division III. First of all, you have Devon Cruz, a big, strong runner. He's a slasher with great speed. He was the OADC 60-meter champion. Then you have Chuck Moore, the Division III Player of the Year. Anytime you go over 2,000 yards, I don't care what league or division you're playing, he is stout.
And he was the MVP of this game last year. It's Mount Union, it's Bridgewater. Let's start it with John Anderson and Sean Salisbury. Gentlemen. Salem, Virginia, Division III National Championship. Mount Union has been here 6 of the last 9 years. Bridgewater's never been to the championship game, but they're very familiar with Salem. Aren't they, Holly Rowe?
That's right, Rich. In fact, last year, head coach for Bridgewater, Michael Clark, was here watching Mount Union win yet another national championship. He was a spectator in the stands. As he left the stadium, he ran into one of his own players, wide receiver Brian Ratliff. Ratliff excitedly said to him, "Coach, we can play with these guys. We should be here." He got so motivated by his player's statement, he wrote that story in his Christmas letter to all of his players. And at the end, he ended with the statement, "Why not us?" One short year later, it is Bridgewater in the national championship game. And Rich, tonight they find out if they really can play with Mount Union.
Once it was determined the Saturday night before, after the win in the Rowan game on the last play, that we were going to go and compete in the Stagg Bowl, it was a controversy that we kept away from the players. I had to deal with a lot that week in statements and comments and things that I had to the people. But, from our kids' point of view, I mean, they played the game as it was defined the Saturday previous and earned their way to that contest. It was something we really look forward to and really don't regret the decision we made.
Backfield, Andre Jones, Marcus Richardson, and Van Williams, the tight end.
Marcus Richardson will do some damage after he catches the football.
Lutz is going right to the air. And he's going right to Richardson. To the 30. Richardson. 5. Touchdown.
Marcus Richardson can do some damage after he catches the football.
67 yards. And Bridgewater has just electrified this place.
Two things, Rich. We said Bridgewater needs to get out to a fast start, throw the first punch. Bam! They threw the first punch. Another thing, Marcus Richardson, a big-time player, can do damage after he catches the ball. Bam! Touchdown.
Sean Rao for the extra point. This is not automatic. But he nails it.
Right away, Bridgewater coach Michael Clark said they haven't seen speed like we have, like Marcus Richardson has. No, they haven't seen speed like that. Again, he does a good job of bringing the ball in and knowing how to get to the end zone. Right here, he's going to throw a little out and go to the post. He beats his safety. Missed tackle from Mount Union defender.
Actually, the first touchdown, Marcus Richardson to the field side was a secondary read. The play was designed to go to P.J. Berry, running up the near sideline, coming out of the backfield, and Jason Lutz, our quarterback, on a secondary read, put the ball out there. Marcus made a great adjustment, and really, I think at that point, any idea that, hey, do we belong on this field? I think that doubt we put the stake in that on the first play of the football game.
Deliver the ball before a receiver makes his cut, like Jason Candle. It makes it easy on a receiver and tougher on the DB because he has no time to break on the football.
He's the favorite target of Adamson. And now a three-receiver look for Mount Union. Chuck Moore bounces outside. Boy, he got a good block. Flags are down, and Moore is down to the 6-yard line.
It's a version of the counter OT, but it was a counter OE. Now, people out there ask why it's an OE. It's because the tight end was the second puller. See, Chuck Moore, one thing Chuck Moore possesses is vision. Right there, he got the face mask. Certainly, that's a little close there. I'm a defensive guy, and I don't know. That's almost a chin strap grab. They don't have a penalty for grabbing chin strap, do they, Rich?
There's another defensive guy. He was a good one when he played. Michael Clark. He played at Cincinnati. Played at Cincinnati, coached at Murray State and at Virginia Tech. Under Mike Gottfried at Murray State. Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech.
He coached under Frank Beamer. He does no defense.
Mount Union inside the 5. First and goal. It's Moore. And he's in. Touchdown. Mount Union answers.
When you talk about size versus speed, Bridgewater's defense is built for speed. Mount Union's offensive line is size. Right now, size is beating speed, and they're missing some tackles at the point.
Number 1, Chanus will attempt the extra point. And number 12.
Rodney Chanus adds the point. He's an interesting guy to talk to. We had a chance to visit with him yesterday. Very calm. He's not a rah-rah guy. Doesn't give big locker room speeches.
No, actually, I asked him one thing. I said, being a head coach and the offensive coordinator, you find it difficult to call plays from the sidelines? He said, yeah, I do. He said, in fact, the first 4 years at Mount Union, I was the head coach up in the box, but I found that I needed to be down on the sidelines where my team needed me.
And he was the offensive coordinator, then the head coach, you're right, and he just stayed up there. Adamson in trouble. He's hit and dropped. Ryan Bailey got him.
See, Ryan Bailey right here is going to work one-on-one and see him make a move. He does a nice little grab and rip. What happened? He got the offensive tackle's feet crossed, got him out of position, got his hand behind him, got around the corner, closed the corner.
P.J. Berry. dropped at the 34-yard line. Keith Spivey on the stop. Early on, we're tied 7 apiece. Ralph Robinson, the defensive coordinator for Bridgewater. He was the first recruit for head coach Michael Clark when Clark was an assistant at Murray State. Robinson was a defensive back there for the Racers. And here he is as a coordinator at Bridgewater. And the Eagles keep it on the ground. Devon Cruz for 3 yards. Bridgewater College, if you're looking for an equivalent in Division I, think Northwestern in the mid-90s or Oregon State maybe in the last few years. They were 0-10 in 98.
He did a great job, and that's perseverance and a lot of hard work, and it's tough to do at a Division III program. Coach Clark said he surrounded himself with good people. You get some players, and this is what happens. You get to the national championship game.
I never forget at the hotel before the game, walking out of our pregame meal, and we usually have that meal about 3 hours and 45 minutes before the game, and running into the late Edge Burgess and Spike Velty was there at the time saying, Mike, they think this is the days where cell phones were just coming on. We have to get over there. We just got word that the parking lot is full. If we don't leave, we won't have a place to park. At that time, I remember that hit me a little bit, understanding the atmosphere we were walking into. My only regret is I didn't make the buses park on the other side of the parking lot. It would have been a nice place to have a team march, but I didn't anticipate that happening.
Get in yak yards or rack yards, run after catch or yards after catch, whatever you prefer. He can do it.
First down yards. The fullback, Linwood Johnson, has carried the ball only 18 times all year, but he gets a big first down here, and it's into Mount Union territory at the 26-yard line.
I give credit to Lutz for that, for reading. That was that dive option. He read where nobody had the fullback. He gave the ball to the fullback. He does a nice job of riding. You see Linwood Johnson makes a nice cut. Good vision and balance. Keep your head up. Keep going. Keep your head up.
Who does he read there? The nose tackle?
He reads the 3 technique, which is the guy that's lined up on the outside eye of the offensive guard.
This time, Lutz will keep it. Ooh, big hit. Antoine Dillard knocked Lutz down. It's a loss of 1.
Yeah, Antoine's shaking up a little bit. He said, I'm not used to hitting a 230-pound quarterback. So he's got the old hand up. That's a good hit, Antoine. Wrap him up.
Mike Clark told us if Lutz wasn't his quarterback, he'd be one of his linebackers.
Yeah, he looks like it. I tell you, he's thick-legged kid. He's strong-armed, a great competitor.
5'11", 225. Shotgun on 2nd down and 11. Little bubble screen. P.J. Barry to the 20. 9-yard pickup. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Right, just before Bridgewater's offense took the field for this series, the coaches on the sideline told them, quit worrying about Jason. They were doing so much to protect him in the backfield. He said, quit worrying about that. Just do your assignments. He can take care of himself. We've seen him do that, scrambling out of a near sack for a great first down, and he is all that and a little bit more, handling his own business out there.
Third down 2. Little shovel. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Here's Sean Rao, 1 of 8 this year. 3 of them have been blocked. All of those were low kicks.
Yeah, he's got to put this one up in the air a little bit. This is the farthest he's kicked one.
From 42 yards. Snap is good, and the kick is up. Oh, he hit the upright. The poor kid.
That's all right. You know what? That's not bad for Bridgewater because they don't have a lot of confidence in that young man. But when you go from 42 and hit the upright, you're thinking if you're on that sideline, we can give this guy another chance to put one through instead of being in 4-down territory when you're inside the 35 and in.
That's a great point. Bridgewater scored on their first play. Mount Union scored on their first drive. Moore. Chuck Moore across midfield to the 44-yard line, 16 yards. The Gagliardi Award winner. That's the Division III equivalent of the Heisman Trophy.
Again, he has the speed and the burst. I like to see burst, and what you'll see here is Lonnie Parker, the middle linebacker for Bridgewater, makes a bad decision. He'll jump inside the block. There's Lonnie jumping inside that block, which opens up the seam a little bit more. Lonnie, you want to get outside, force that ball to cut back, so your pursuit from the backside can make a play.
Chuck Moore from Mogador, Ohio. Moore again to the 40. It's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Jason Bailey made a nice open field tackle. I mean, elusive guy. Chuck has a little shake and bake with him. He's not just a straight runner. He's got shake and bake and a little burst.
This has been an incredible last few weeks for Moore. Not only has he been in the NCAA playoffs and he's arrived at the championship game, he's been finishing his senior paper, 187 pages, and he just turned it in a couple days ago. Hugh on a draw. Stopped at the 44. It's a loss of 4. And Manny Jones made the stop, the sophomore.
Yeah, one of the reasons why Manny Jones was able to get in there from his defensive tackle position, because he's signaled up. Why is he singled up? Because they have a blitz on with Gary Nelson, number 7. You see Manny Jones one-on-one, getting penetration and making a great play. Now, if you're playing guard for Mountain Union and you're Brent Miller, you want to be a little bit more stout, especially on that look and turn his shoulders. Manny didn't quit. He brought his feet and didn't quit on the play and was able to make a play in the backfield for a tackle for a loss, but it was based off the blitz by Gary Nelson.
3rd and 10. Movement, no flags. Adamson, I think, thought the play was over. It's bobbled and caught, but short of the first down. Jason Richards, the catch. That was a strange play.
And now decision time. You're in a manageable 4th down, and you're in their territory, and you got a high potent offense. I think you go for it in this situation. That was a great catch. Great job by Adamson of getting rid of that football. You see Adamson again showing a little bit of strength of himself, throwing off his back foot and making a great catch, because Gary Nelson had a hand on that. Jason Richards brings it in.
Mount Union has converted 15 of 21 4th downs this year. And this is Moore racing to the outside. He's caught and dropped. Lonnie Parker, the middle linebacker.
That time Lonnie Parker didn't run inside of the block. He just beat the block to the corner and makes a great open field tackle. That's a great play by Lonnie Parker, and that's a big play by this Bridgewater defense. You see Lonnie Parker right here lined up outside. He beats the block of the offensive tackle. Closes the gate in front of the bow. Finishes the play. Now Lonnie was lined up on the line of scrimmage in a bear-type look. A linebacker lined up tight.
Final seconds, first quarter. Cruz across midfield to the 47-yard line. Mount Union has won 5 of the last 8 national championships in Division III football. Tonight, tiny Bridgewater College is trying to end that run. After 1, we're tied at 7. 3rd down short. Lutz, option, fumble. Recovered by Cruz.
Well, Cruz does a great job of getting on that football. Shaking up a little bit. Mount Union did a nice job defending the dive option this time. Why is it a dive option? The fake to the fullback right there. They come in and they get a hand on the football. Perkins does a nice job of covering up. Cruz does a nice job of securing the fumble. Left-handed pitch. You see Matt Campbell grab that arm, force a bad pitch.
Chad Coffey to kick it. Line drive kick.
They got a wall. They got a wall.
This is Dan Pugh.
Got a wall.
Outside. Midfield. Pugh still on his feet and out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Number 31,
68 yards on the return.
What happened was that was a low, long line drive kick. Now what that does is give you an opportunity to set your return. Why? Because the punt coverage team can't cover quick enough, and you see the wall being set up out there. You'll see it coming in your picture right now. Watch the wall. Whap, there's one block. You see the wall? You see that wall, black and purple jerseys and helmets? Look at him go. And Dan Pugh does a good job, doesn't panic. And Gary Nelson does a nice job of hustling back, saving the touchdown. That's a great job of finishing blocks by Mount Union, and a great job by Gary Nelson saving the touchdown by hustling. Love to see that.
68 yards. Play clock is running down. And Mount Union getting it out on the field right now. They're going to reset that play clock. They're having trouble setting the change. 68 yards on the return. Larry Karras' Purple Raiders in great field position. They reset the play clock. And Chuck Moore swallowed up for the 21. Manny Jones and Jeremy Fox.
What they're doing a lot of slanting and angling. Why? Because they're built for speed. You see good penetration right there, knocking off blockers, and Manny Jones getting penetration. Now that's how speed defeats size. You get penetration with quickness and movement, and on the snap, they're hitting the gaps. They're not playing straight up with these big hogs. They're trying to beat them inside on the gaps.
Adamson in trouble, down again. He had been sacked only 13 times all year. He's been sacked twice tonight. And Bridgewater has 52 sacks on the season now.
Well, they're going to bring their linebackers. That's the strength of their defense. There's Gary Nelson beating the block of Pugh and not quitting on the football. Now, if Pugh would have got his block, he had an open receiver. Why? Because it was zero coverage. Zero coverage means there's nobody helping deep. Everybody's man-to-man on the outside. But Gary Nelson says, I'll show you how to play zero coverage. I'll sack the quarterback.
Very un-Mount Union-like, those last 4 plays. Moore on a draw, and Chuck finds a hole. Moore is inside the 10, and he's just shy of the first down. I think he's about a yard short. 17 yards on the carry. Decision time for Larry Karras. Does he kick the field goal or go for it?
He's going to kick the field goal. I think you want to get points on the board, especially, like you said, 28 yards. Previous that play, the last 4 plays, you're in the red zone. Let's get some points on the board. Come back and play some strong defense. Now, what Chuck Moore does a good job of staying patient on that last play. Picks his spot, then shows a burst that you like to see from your running backs.
Rodney Chanus had a good year, 11 of 13. This one is up and good. Bridgewater missed their field goal. Mount Union makes theirs. They were in the playoffs last year at 10-2. First man through, that's Devon Cruz to the 43-yard line. You see that band around his left elbow. That hides a hideous scar. When he was a senior in high school, the final day of school, he was a quarterback. He was going to walk on at West Virginia. He was walking in a crosswalk, and he was hit by a car.
Oh, man.
And it cut his left arm severely, so much so that it damaged his left thumb. He couldn't grip a football, so he couldn't be a quarterback anymore. And his dreams of going to West Virginia were shelved. Bridgewater had recruited him and said, hey, come play quarterback. They got into that season, and they needed a running back, and they put him back there, and the rest.
Yeah, you're right, Rich, and things worked out funny. And I'll tell you, Devon Cruz is a guy I know for a fact. There's a couple scouts here in the NFL tonight. And Devon Cruz is a guy with size, almost NFL size. And a couple months in that weight room, he'll be ready for that draft and some workouts, because he hits the hole. He hits it with purpose and intent. He doesn't fool around.
Here's Cruz. Purpose, intent, and first down. To the 47, we check in with Holly Rowe. Holly?
Guys, when you talk about the progress of Devon Cruz at tailback, you've got to remember he's only been playing this position for 3 years. His coach, Michael Clark, says he's still a young guy. He's still learning how to have vision and actually carry the ball. But the thing that's good about him, he has added 36 pounds in the weight room since he got to Bridgewater. They say he's a workaholic, and that's got to bode well for the NFL scouts who are here to find out what kind of character this young man has.
Division III All-American. First down. Marcus Richardson, who had the touchdown, is in motion. Lutz gives it to Cruz, and he was tripped up in the backfield.
Number 15, Cruz, the ball carrier.
Looked like Jeff Knobloch that got a hand on him.
Jeff got the penetration, but the 44-yard line got the tackle.
Okay.
Devon, you know, he does hit that hole hard. Sometimes his feet get a little bit ahead of his body right there. Knobloch with the penetration, and that's what you want to do against a back that gets his shoulders turned downhill in a hurry like Devon does. You got to get penetration and get a hit on him before he gets those shoulders down there.
We haven't seen Lutz put it up lately. Second down and 10. Cruz again. Nifty move inside the 50 to the 48-yard line. It'll bring up third down and about 6. Jason Perkins, the senior out of Wakeman, Ohio.
Jason Perkins, an All-American candidate from Mountain Union, 3-year starter. Tough defender. Good outside linebacker. That time he came from the backside, finished the play nice and put a nice shot on Devon. Putting that helmet on him. See what you hit.
Third down. Lutz with time and a man. He's got him at the 32-yard line. Tumbling catch by Nicholas Lato. 18 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, they bring Marcus Richardson underneath and let him. He's the prime target, so the linebackers got to give depth. You got to know where the chains are. And Lato comes across the middle and does a good job, and Lutz delivers the ball where he needs to deliver it. But all the linebackers drew up to Richardson because he's the #1 target, and they say, that's fine. One underneath, one over the top. Nicholas Lato was a man over the top, and Lutz read it nicely and hit him.
Lato caught the big pass that set up the touchdown last week. There's the pitch to Cruz. Off the option, and Cruz is inside the 20. Ball squirts loose, but Cruz was down, and I think he's got the first down.
That's showing confidence in your football team and your football players. Why? The last time they ran that play, they fumbled it. That time they ran it and executed it perfectly. They ran a dive option. That's a fake handoff to the fullback. Lutz executed the left-handed pitch. Cruz did a nice job of finding his blockers where they were and getting the ball upfield.
Michael Clark, his 7th year at Bridgewater. He inherited a program that was really down. It took him a couple of years to get it jump-started. 2nd and inches. Cruz off the pitch. Stops. Falls forward with the first down. Antoine Dillard, the sophomore out of Cleveland, made the stop for Mount Union.
And Antoine Dillard did a nice job flowing from his defensive tackle position, and Matt Campbell did a good job of getting in the backfield and forces Devon Cruz to make a quick move. I tell you, they're having their way up front. Bridgewater's offensive line is winning the battle right now.
And they only average about 255 pounds across. Cruz breaks outside. And he's knocked out of bounds. Did you see who was down at the 5-yard line throwing a block? It was Jason Lutz.
Yep, that's why he can do it all. He's robo quarterback.
I mean, I've seen quarterbacks give you a token effort, but Lutz was 10 yards ahead of the play.
On a handoff, too. See Cruz right here trying to get outside to use his speed.
There goes Lutz.
There goes Lutz getting a block. And there's Chris Kern making a nice open field tackle, bringing his feet, not stopping his feet. Didn't allow Cruz to break through. It's a big quarterback draw formation for them.
2nd and 7. Good call, Coach Spielman. To the 11-yard line is Lutz.
Yeah, that's a manageable down for them, and it's a quarterback draw situation where they have success running that play. It turns into a 2-back offense, much like the spread offense, which you see in some of the Division I colleges. And what you do is you use the fullback as your lead blocker, and it turns into isolation play. That's a big play for them, especially down here in the red area.
You can see that Mount Union's defense per game giving up 223, and Bridgewater is approaching 200.
You have three weapons like Lutz, Cruz, and Richardson. You can do that. You can attack them from all angles.
And remember, in all likelihood, 4-down territory. Shotgun, Lutz with a low snap, no one open, trying to scramble, man open, end zone touchdown, Brian Ratliff. How about that for improvisation?
Composure. Rich, why? They want the bubble screen on the other side. Mount Union did a great job of reading the bubble screen, so Lutz says, let me roll out to this side and see if I can find anybody. He found Brian Ratliff, who didn't quit on the play and ran in the corner. And Lutz delivered the football. Went to prison pretty fast, but effective.
Now Rao for the extra point. Block! And that can be returned for 2 points. It's still loose, and finally it's down at the 20-yard line. That is the 9th extra point they have missed this year. But Bridgewater gets 6 points, and a tough quarterback earned them. Bridgewater back on top, 13-10. They've missed a field goal and an extra point, but they have a 3-point lead over Division III power Mount Union.
And one of the surprising things, and not necessarily for us because we know how potent this offense was, but I bet you for Mount Union a little bit, is that they're able to run the football and they're winning the battle of the line of scrimmage up front. The boys are getting it done. The grunts.
Danny Pugh, who had the big punt return to the 32-yard line. Have fun drawing this one.
Well, right here, you got Marcus Richardson right here. He's going to go in motion. The last time they ran that, it was the bubble screen. But Mount Union does a good job of defending the bubble screen this time. Right there. See, the guy jumped there, played the double screen. Ratliff doesn't quit on the play. He sees his quarterback's in trouble, so what's he do? He rolls and finds an open in the end zone, gets open in the clear. Lutz knows he's going to be there and delivers the ball. Well executed, never quit on the play. The quarterback didn't quit, the receiver didn't quit. Results, you don't quit, you get 6.
Adamson, good play action. And a strong arm throw that's out of bounds and incomplete. He was looking for Jason Campbell. One final note on that touchdown. Remember, it was Brian Ratliff who last week ad-libbed with 1 second left, got himself open for the game-winning touchdown as the clock expired that put Bridgewater College, albeit with some pretty good controversy, in this championship.
But you know what? They did a great job. They snapped the ball in a silent count, and again, Ratliff knew where to go. That's well-coached football right there. When you teach your guys, you see your quarterback's in trouble, you scramble around, make it an easier throw for your quarterback. Find a corner in the end zone.
Adamson again. Again, he's on the money. More. The catch. And the talented tailback's out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Henry Eggleston on the coverage. All right, here is last week, the controversy and the win over Rowan. Now, the controversy is during this play because films show that the clock should have expired. However, when the catch was made, the clock was stopped with 1 second left. And in reviewing the tapes, the NCAA felt, and both Bridgewater and Rowan saw, that there should not have been a second left. There's a nice catch on the sidelines by Jason Campbell again.
Yeah, that was a great throw, too. Why? Because it was on the line. That was a cover 2 coverage. He beat the safety. He knew he had to throw the ball on the line so the safety wouldn't have time to run under. If that ball had a little loft on it, the safety would have had time to make a break on it. Although Jason Campbell made a great catch, he knew he was going to take a nice shot from Jason Bailey. And Jason did put a shot on him. A good read by Adamson, though, recognizing the coverage and delivering to the weakness of the coverage.
He throws a nice tight ball as well. Moore on the draw, stopped at the 37. Just to finish the story of last week's game against Rowan, tonight I'm sure Casey Keeler and his Rowan University team watching this ball game, certainly they had a great season. And, you know, talking to Michael Clark, the head coach at Bridgewater, he huddled with the school president and the NCAA about 2 hours after the game, and they considered forfeiting that game back to Rowan.
Yeah, you know, and it's tough for Rowan, and that's a tough break, and it's not fair, but, you know, life's not fair, and the kids and the coaches didn't do anything wrong. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They executed and won the football game. That's the way it goes.
Second down and 12.
Comes the blitz.
And Moore busts through it. Chuck Moore, there he goes! 5, touchdown! 36 yards.
If you get to the second level against the blitz, your second level defender, Jason Bailey, has got to make the tackle because there's nobody else. Everybody else is penetrating. Chuck Moore makes Jason Bailey miss. Chuck Moore goes 36 yards. That's a great play against that call. They ran a quick little trap, knocked the blitzers off. One-on-one, Jason Bailey, Chuck Moore. Guess who wins? Chuck Moore.
Chanus with the extra point.
6.5 a pop, too. That's strong.
J.R. Solomon. And Solomon is out to the 25-yard line.
If you're in a zero coverage, Rich, and you run a blitz, you have to make the tackle if the back gets to the second level. Watch a quick little trap right there. It's a good kick-out block right there. You got a chance to make the tackle, Jason Bailey. You don't make it, guess what? Guys are manned up behind you. They're covered. Chuck Moore knows what to do when he gets in the open field. He smells the end zone. He can get to the end zone. Well executed, well blocked by Mount Union.
From the 25, Michael Kelly for his first carry to the 27-yard line. With more on the blitz, Holly Rowe.
Guys, we had a chance to sit down and talk with Chuck Moore last night, and we said, how will you handle the blitz? He said, I actually look forward to it. Because he said, if I can make one little move, get through the hole, I'm one-on-one with secondary players. It's exactly what happened right there. He says he loves it. He also knows that was a very well-blocked play. He came over to the sideline after and individually congratulated each one of his offensive linemen.
Well, you're right, Holly. He was very big about that last night. He went out of his way to talk about his offensive line and his running mate, Dan Pugh. This is Kelly, the sophomore. It's his first series. He's more of a slasher than Devon Cruz. Matt Campbell and Jason Perkins made the stop for Mount Union.
Nice little change up for Bridgewater. Give Devon Cruz a little break. 6 yards. Manageable third down. You talk about manageable third downs. That's 3rd and 4 or less in my eyes. 3rd and 10, a little tough. You're a much better coach when you can call plays at 3rd and 3 than you are at 3rd and 12.
On a 4-receiver look. Lutz checking off. And the quick throw got his man. At midfield, it's Ratliff again. Chris Kern on the coverage. Ratliff, the junior out of Timberville, Virginia.
If you have Marcus Richardson, that's a threat, and you fake a bubble screen with him. You see Marcus Richardson. Everybody's breaking to Marcus Richardson. Then Ratliff comes on the slant. Lutz reads the defensive backs, breaking on Marcus Richardson. So I know if they're breaking on him, there's somebody behind him, Ratliff. That's where I'll deliver the football. That's where he did. That's why they have a first down.
Option Lutz. Intercepted. It's picked off. Jason Perkins. He will score. Touchdown, Mount Union.
Well, he made a great decision to play before. Right there, Jason, I know he wishes he had that. That's a bad decision. Sometimes you just got to take the sack. Just take it. Jason Perkins reads the play, jumps the tailback in the flat, secures the football, and has the speed to score from there. Outstanding play by Jason Perkins, one of the leaders on that Mount Union defense.
The kick is blocked. And both teams have missed. an extra point. Jason Frizzell with the block.
They can get it done.
All right, 57 seconds left. 78 yards to go. Final moments of this half. That's another incomplete pass. There's a shovel to Marcus Richardson. They've run that play twice, and neither time has it looked real good.
You know the timing's messed up on it. Lutz is rolling to his left. He's got to deliver that football. Marcus Richardson is not they're not in sync. Marcus is not lined up to receive the pass, so Lutz is rolling too fast. Thus, he's trying to wait for Marcus Richardson to catch up to him. What you do is let Marcus Richardson come in motion a little bit longer so you can time it up better.
A four-receiver look on 2nd and 10. Lutz with time, going deep for Berry, and it's broken up. Chris Kern with the coverage. The junior out of Faribault, Minnesota.
Yeah, Lutz and Berry had a little communication going there. They went away from the playbook there. Berry gave the old face mask tap. I don't know if you saw that, but he gave the old face mask tap. When you give the old face mask tap, that means I'm going deep. Let me try to take him. That was a great job of defending by Chris Kern. He saw the face mask tap too. He knew that he was going deep. Chris Kern's been around a little bit.
That's a pretty easy one to pick up for a corner.
Good size corner. Look, 6 foot, 202 pounds. For Minnesota.
On 3rd down and 10. Draw to Cruz. To the 27. If you're Mount Union, you burn a timeout.
There you do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good job. Roughing the kicker. 5-yarder. Okay.
Running into the kicker, it's 5.
Right.
And so.
Running into the kicker.
You know, Mike Miller could have had that. Now, what happened there, this is a technique thing. Mike puts his hands out a little bit too early. And when you put your hands out a little bit too early, you lose your speed. If he would have ran through there a little bit more, then got his hands out at the last second to take it off the foot, just missed it. Yeah.
It didn't take a whole lot of imagination to call that one. Linwood Johnson on the run, and he's caught at the 44-yard line. They're going to try to line up and run a play. They've got a timeout left.
Yeah, you got to down it and hopefully get in Hail Mary position. That's what they want to do. I saw them working on their Hail Mary yesterday.
1st down, 5 seconds left. How strong an arm does Jason Lutz have? We're about to find out. Down the field it goes, and it's intercepted. And the half will end with Chris Kern rolling around with the football. Michael Clark and the Bridgewater Eagles had some moments, but at halftime, Mount Union on top of Bridgewater, 23-13. It's halftime. John Anderson and Sean Salisbury. Take it away, gentlemen.
What that would do is give Mount Union confidence to put him away. Bridgewater needs confidence to get back into this game.
Chuck Moore, he returns kicks as well. And a nice return across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines in Holly Rowe.
Rich talking to both coaches at halftime. Bridgewater's Michael Clark says they have got to do a better job showing some composure and poise when they get on Mount Union side of the 50-yard line on offense. He says we've thrown it away and caused some big mistakes. And they said he's also got to stop giving them the short field in the kicking game. Now for Mount Union, Larry Karras says they've got to do a better job handling the pressure of the blitz. They've got too many negative yards. He also says they have got to be a little bit more consistent on defense.
Chuck Moore around the right side, and a nice stop on 1st down from the Bridgewater defense.
Now, Jeremy Fox, I don't know if he made the tackle. There's a nice pile of gold helmets running to the football there, but Jeremy Fox does a nice job of stringing that play out. And the longer you can make a running back like Chuck Moore run sideways, the more chance you have of gang tackling. And that time, Jeremy Fox was the reason why Bridgewater was able to have 6 guys on the hit.
The Mount Union Purple Raiders, their All-American running back, Player of the Year, the Gagliardi Award, Division III. Favorites in this football game. Adamson steps up, fires to the open man, Derek Leach right at midfield. And Leach is stopped right on the sticks for a gain of about 10. Jason Bailey made the hit.
Well, that's a nice throw, man. He threw a rope. Again, letting the pattern develop, being patient, delivering the football on time, and a nice job.
You know, these names I'm about to read are certainly not familiar to college football fans, but if you're a Division III football fan, you know the names of Jim Ballard, Bill Borchard, Gary Smeck. Those are the 3 quarterbacks that won the 5 national championships at Mount Union. In fact, when Adamson was a freshman, Smeck was playing so well that Adamson left school, and he transferred for about a month and then changed his mind and came back.
I know Coach Karras is happy he came back. And you mentioned the name Jimmy Ballard. Jimmy Ballard's a guy that I played with a little bit in Buffalo.
Yep.
He's a very talented quarterback, and I really think could have been a good NFL quarterback if he would have had time to develop. And a strong arm and smart and a great competitor, like all these legacies of these Mount Union quarterbacks are all great competitors. Strong arms.
Holly Rowe, you've got something to add.
Well, Rod Adamson has never been a starter on a championship team, so this game means the world to him. When he was in high school, he played in the Ohio State Championship high school game. They lost in 5 overtimes, so you've got to think a championship for him today would be monumental.
Chuck Moore, who's been a part of 2 championship games. Like he was the MVP of this game last year. It's a 4-yard pickup. You know, in reading the clips from Adamson about this game, one of the quotes he said was, there's a tremendous amount of pressure being the quarterback at Mount Union. And you could, I mean, at first you look at that quote and you go, what? And then you realize the legacy that they've built here, 5 national championships in 8 seasons.
Well, I tell you, it's the New York Yankees of Division III football. And if you're the quarterback, you're the trigger man. And the great quarterbacks that preceded you, you have an obligation to uphold that tradition of fine quarterback play.
Blitz coming. Adamson's throw is behind Dan Pugh. And it's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It's all right. Mount Union will come to that play that was open. And why? Because Bridgewater didn't adjust to Dan Pugh, who's normally lined up at running backs, lined up out at wide receiver to get him the ball in the bubble screen. And the offensive lineman did a great job of getting downfield. Ralph Robinson, he's calling the defense, and it's 3rd down. It's been his norm in this game so far. 3rd down. I'm bringing, folks. I'm coming after you. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Lonnie Parker, he's in his blitz stance. Yeah, here he comes.
Adamson has time over the middle, and a catch in traffic by Jason Richards. The senior out of Columbia Station, Ohio. 10 yards on the pickup.
This is a zone blitz. There's a difference between a zero coverage blitz and a zone blitz. Zero coverage, you're playing man. Here's 2 guys blitzing. That's Nelson and Lonnie Parker. Now, right there, he delivers the ball on time because it's a good job of protection. It allowed his receiver to buy time and find the open area and deliver the spot. Nice job of going to the sticks also, Rich, to get the 1st down yardage.
Moore off the handoff, trying to get over the 100-yard mark, and I think he has it with that carry. Inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. 107 yards unofficially for Chuck Moore.
Jermaine Taylor does a nice job of stepping up and filling the hole, but what I like to see is Jermaine Taylor bring his feet with him, because Chuck Moore, being a good back, always goes forward, never goes back. Jermaine Taylor's got to come up, bring his feet, and drive Chuck Moore back, not let Chuck Moore drive him back.
Chuck Moore had 47 carries last week in the win over St. John's. Man open, on the money. Adamson to the 14-yard line. Jason Candle, his favorite target, 19 yards on the pickup.
We got a skinny post here, which was made famous by the Dallas Cowboys, in specific Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. Right there's a skinny post. He beats the corner inside. Adamson knows where that ball has to be delivered. You see that little arm over move? That's a swim move. They call that a swim move. I don't know anything about swimming, but I know that was a swim move. I believe that was a freestyle, Rich.
Blitz coming, pitch outside, and Moore is inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line.
Well, Bridgewater's going to blitz because they've had success in the 1st half with the blitz, and they understand that in order to get by the big fellas up front for Mount Union. They can't sit there and get in a fight match with them. They can't sit there and try to wrestle them because they just get engulfed. So what they do is they use movement to beat the big hogs. Now Bridgewater did a nice job of beating the blitz and getting off blocks and making plays and running to the football.
2nd down and 8. Here comes the blitz again. Draw, and more. This time bust down to the 5-yard line. Jermaine Taylor made the stop. He's very close to the 1st down.
Chuck Moore does a nice job, and he's got surprising power. Again, he brings people and he carries tacklers. You're starting to see that Bridgewater defensive line and linebackers wear down a little bit. Look at Jermaine Taylor, does a nice job of defeating a block. That's it. Now when you get a hat on him, bring your feet. See his feet stop? His feet stops and you hang on. You got to bring your feet when you make contact, because if you play a strong back, he's going to carry you.
On 3rd and short. Hugh. He's close. Jermaine Taylor on the stop.
Stop on number 99, Jermaine Taylor once again.
They are getting him up front now, though. They're wearing him down a little bit. Jermaine Taylor again on the blitz, getting off block and making another tackle. And that time he brought his feet. Well, that's a nice 1-2 punch Mount Union brings. You got Danny Pugh right there, over 900 yards this year. Chuck Moore over 2,000.
Looks like they're going to measure. Chris, you said you know nothing about swimming. I don't think Larry Karras knows anything about swimming too, right, Holly Rowe?
That's right. I mean, we've been trying to put in perspective the difference between Division I and Division III. Well, these coaches have other jobs at the university, and where Larry Karras started out, he was a swimming coach and started a program for Mount Union. He doesn't really know how to swim. When they went on to win a national championship or try to win a championship, he was terrified his team would throw him in the pool and find out their coach knew nothing about swimming.
You know, that carried over to one of his championships. He doesn't like the Gatorade bath either.
No.
They dumped Gatorade on him one year, and he turned around, and everybody ran.
He doesn't like water. He needs one of those rafts with the dinosaur head sticking out of it.
They have the 1st down. It's 1st and goal. Chuck Moore hit at the 2, stopped at the 3. Lonnie Parker and Jason Bailey made the stop for Bridgewater.
That time Lonnie Parker did a good job of wrapping him up high. I like to see guys hit high. That way a back can't go over the top of you. Jason Bailey does a nice job of getting him low. This is a big series now for Bridgewater. They cannot let them get 6 points here. If they get 6 points, that can put it out of reach, in my opinion. If they hold them to 3, that's a moral victory for them. They get their offense back on the field and have a chance to make something happen.
Keeping Chuck Moore out of the end zone is no easy task, though. 2nd and goal from the 3. Adamson with time, and it's deflected and intercepted. No, it's dropped. Did he hold it?
Yeah, they gave it to him. That's a great play.
Yeah, Jermaine Taylor, when he hit the ground, the ball popped out. They'll call it an interception. And it's not 7 points. It's not 3 points. It's a turnover.
Right there's a big play. We talked about it. They needed a big play. Jermaine Taylor's made a ton of tackles this series. Comes up with a great interception. One of the things he does is he doesn't fall off the cliff. He rides around that clothesline, that goal line, not to knock him out.
So Bridgewater comes up with a big defensive play. Their ball when we get back. Cruz tripped up to the 22-yard line. What a series that was for Taylor.
Yeah, Jermaine Taylor played big here now. This is a great job because he doesn't fall off the cliff. That means he doesn't get too deep in the end zone, forcing the quarterback to try to throw over top. And not only did he tip the ball, he stayed with it. Even when he falls on the ground, look, stay with the ball, secure the catch. Great job by the Mount Union receiver trying to knock it out of there. Right there, 5 tackles and an interception. I'm talking about being an active linebacker. He was very active that series, provided the leadership on defense that you need to stay in this game.
You can see his feet came down with the ball in possession. It's a nice call by the official. Lutz on play action, running out of time and dropping the ball. It's still loose. It's still loose. And Bridgewater, on an adventurous 2nd down, will end up losing about 8 yards.
Yeah, Matt Campbell did a great job of coming in, getting the pressure, and stripping the football. Not going for the kill shot, but going for the strip. You see right here, he's holding the football, He doesn't see Matt Campbell coming, 92 coming in there, excuse me. Todd Braden does a great job of getting a hand across the bow, knocking that football there, Matt.
Third down after that long fumble. Lutz in the pocket, over the middle, got his man in stride. This is Lato, and Lato is inside the 40 down to the 34-yard line. Nicholas Lato, the sophomore. A 48-yard completion, about a 30-yard run after the catch.
Well, that's the one thing they have. You see Lato run into the sticks and runs a deep in, then brings it back toward the quarterback, and Lutz delivers a strike. Now this is what I like, speed after the catch. Running down, making something happen after you catch the ball. That's a great job of Lutz waiting for the receiver to get to the open area and delivering a strike, a rope at 18 yards.
Bridgewater from the Mount Union 35. Lutz, option, keeps it. And pays the price at the 32-yard line. It's a hard-earned 2 yards. Jeff Knobloch, the junior out of Pickerington, Ohio. You know all these Ohio towns.
Yeah, Pickerington's down by Columbus. Jeff Knobloch, the strongest player on that Mount Union football team. You can see by the size of that neck. I used to have a neck like that before I broke it a couple times. I'm getting shorter as I'm getting older, too. About 1,000 tackles ago, I had a neck like that.
You still have a neck like that, my friend. Second down and 8. Lutz on a quick drop. Going to go over the middle. Ratliff there. Picked off. Matt Sotkin, the junior out of Alliance, Ohio.
You know why Mount Union's been in this national championship team? Because they're well coached. That time they did the bubble screen with Clark. Richardson tried to do the bubble screen. He faked the screen. He tried to go deep, but nobody bit on the screen. That's why he had a touchdown. A lot of football left.
Mount Union does not have good field position, but they've got Chuck Moore. He's 40. He's 20. He's 10. He's touchdown. 95 yards. The longest touchdown in Mount Union history. And what a twist and turn that was. Thanks Holly Lutz on a quick screen. And Richardson out to the 40-yard line.
Andre Jones does a nice job of picking up that screen and being patient for his blockers to get out in front of him, making some positive yardage.
It's a great story when you talk to a guy like Chuck Moore, as we did yesterday. He talked at length about his sister. She's a student at Youngstown State. And his aunt, Kathy, will be the donor. And he was awarded the Division III Heisman Trophy. It's called the Gagliardi Award. John Gagliardi, the coach at St. John's. And we wish him well as well. We understand that he's not feeling well right now. He's out to the 48-yard line. Lutz's pot back at the 42-yard line. Bridgewater was on the edge. Jermaine Taylor picked the ball off of the end zone. They drove down. Mount Union with an interception in the very next play. Moore races 95 yards, and this game has really turned.
Well, it has. And if you're thinking about Bridgewater, you're down 17. You got 4 minutes to go. You're not getting anywhere running the football. You got to start throwing it, even though you haven't had success to get back in this game. There's no more games after this. Start throwing the football. Braden did a nice job there of making an open field tackle. Very nice job of making an open field tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down and long. Lutz fires it. Got his man. A tumbling catch at the 42-yard line. Brian Ratliff. A little under 4 minutes left. Third quarter here in the national championship game of Division III football.
Yeah, they're working on that trip side and give Lutz his choices. They have 3 guys doing all curls. Ratliff does a nice job getting his arms on the ground and underneath. So he's in no danger of trapping it. That's a good job of concentrating and seeing that ball. I always tell my 5-year-old son, Noah, look the ball in your hands, Noah. Watch it go in your hands. Just like Ratliff there. I know he's watching tonight, by the way, and I know he's took that instruction.
Are you going to tell me Noah's going to be a wide receiver?
No, but you got to have ball skills.
Okay. Glad you're working on that. Lutz spins off of one, and the strong quarterback finally corralled by Matt Campbell.
You put back in there. He's a touchdown.
1st and 10. Lutz going to go deep for Richardson, who's got a step. Broken up by Chris Kern, who made up that step.
That's a good job of Chris Kerner not putting it on the football. And Richardson ran a nice little route. He ran a little in, and he said, no, I'm going back out. Kern didn't quit on it, and that ball was underthrown. I'm telling you, if that ball was delivered, that was 6 points. It's a nice job of protection by the offensive line. And you'll see Marcus Richardson has to come back for the football and slow down. See, Kern does a good job. What I talked about in the first half as a corner, what you want to do is you want to look and lean, and his bottom is his friend. You see that?
I remember that.
His rear end bumped him there, knocked Richardson out. Use all your body parts out there.
I remember that distinctly from the first half. 2nd down and 10. Richardson in motion. Lutz in trouble. Got it off, and Richardson can't hold it. Faced with 3rd down and 10.
Barry lined up in the backfield, a wide receiver. There he goes. They're going to work him one-on-one outside.
Lutz trying to buy some time. Flags go down in the backfield. Looks like a hold, and it's incomplete. They were chanting your name before the game started. They wanted the game day crew to come out.
I can see the game day crew going there. Alliance?
Yeah, Alliance, Ohio. It's a short drive for Herb Street. Out to the 34-yard line. Not game day, but game trap. Our story so far. How about Chuck Moore with 3 touchdowns? 36-yarder. This is the longest in Mount Union and Division III championship game history. 95 yards.
Lutz has had a little bit of trouble through 3 interceptions. One there that cost him a little bit. Perkins takes it for 6. Play on defense.
14.5 minutes left in this football game. Bridgewater has shown at times tonight they can hit the big play.
Remember, Coach Karras told us that they have not seen a team with this kind of speed. So far, Mount Union answered the challenge. They got their eyes opened a little bit when they hit a big bomb on the first play of the game. Bridgewater hit Mount Union. Mount Union's answered the challenge since.
Lutz tucks it and is dropped at the 42-yard line.
A lot of depth.
Jones in motion. 3rd and 9. Lutz, lots of time. Got his man. Ratliff. He will score. Touchdown, Bridgewater. 59 yards.
Well, that's amazing. He got a touchdown because that was a broken route. Why? Because they had Marcus Richardson and Ratliff in the same area. A hand grenade would have got them both.
Not a defense designed to play smash mouth. This is Pugh. They key on Moore. They give it to Pugh. The ball is loose. And I think Bridgewater may have it.
Second man in.
Bridgewater said they had it. And Bridgewater does have it.
We talked about the second man in, goes in for the strip. Ryan Bailey does a nice job with the tomahawk chop. You see Ryan Bailey not quit on the play, gets knocked out, but watch him come in with his right arm. Bam! Strip it out there, Ryan. Attaboy. Man, I tell you, they take coaching down there. Second man in, always go for the strip. Just like that. That's a great job of ripping it out of there. And a great job by Lonnie Parker, whoever recovers that fumble, digging for that football. A lot of things happen in that pile, Rich.
I think Gary Nelson might have been at the bottom of the pile, and the sophomore linebacker came up with the ball. 2 turnovers for Larry Karras and Mount Union. And Bridgewater is still alive. Jason Lutz right back at it. Time for Lutz. His receiver fell down, and it's picked off. Mike Miller. Miller to the 20. And Miller to the 10. That was not Lutz's fault. His receiver fell down. The ball went right over him. 45 yards on the return.
Really, it was a game of great offensive football. There were two very explosive teams at the time. Each of us had over 500 yards of total offense, and if I'm not mistaken, there was about 1,100 yards of offense in the game. Looking back on it, hey, we turned the ball over 4 times against the #1 rated team in the country, and that's football 101, whether you're playing in the national championship in 2001 or whether you're playing a JV football game in 2019 somewhere. It's going to be tough to win with that ratio. Something we got to live with, but the bottom line is you usually make the bed you sleep in.
Running after the catch. Should have maybe stayed down that sidelines, might have had another 6 for that Mountain Union defense. Good disciplined defense there.
Moore on a draw to the 7. Every time Bridgewater makes a play in the second half, a momentum turning play, Mount Union has turned right around and got that ball right back.
Yeah, that's why they're champions. There's no panic in Mount Union. Even though we felt it up here. We felt a little momentum shift up here. Mount Union didn't feel that down there. The defense probably said, hey, we come back, we make our own play, create our own turnover. It's a tough break, though. It was a well-thrown ball by Lutz. He's got to keep his head up. They're still in this ball game.
Field goal keeps Bridgewater within 2 scores.
Yes, sir.
Moore is stuck at the 8-yard line. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Guys, if somehow Bridgewater's defense can come up with a stop right here, that will be a huge victory. They were over on the sideline in the huddle celebrating, emotional after getting that loose ball. All of a sudden, they heard the Mount Union crowd start cheering. They looked up, and they were horrified. It's like they just got their heart ripped out. For these kids to run back out on the field right now in this sudden change situation, this is a real test of their character.
You saw Ralph Robinson, defensive coordinator, cheering his troops on, saying, hang in there and fight. And I tell you, this is a national championship game. You never surrender, never quit. This Bridgewater defense is hanging tough.
It's 3rd down and goal. Adamson is stacked back at the 17-yard line. Jeremy Fox.
That young man's played a game tonight. He's got a great get-off on the ball. Jeremy Fox making a big play on Adamson.
3rd sack of the night.
See, he's unblocked. Big Brent Miller's in his gap protection. Doesn't have time to get out there to get to Jeremy. Jeremy had too much speed. Now remember, Bridgewater blocked an extra point tonight, so they do have the leapers back there. They got 3 leapers.
32-yard kick. Chanus missed it. Well. 9.5 minutes left to play in this national championship game. Jason Lutz back on. And look who's back. Devon Cruz, sore ribs and all. And is carried to the 20-yard line. Antoine Dillard made the stop. It's the first time we've seen him since they've wrapped the ribs.
Yeah, you give the young man a lot of credit, playing with courage and toughness.
And you know what? I don't think he can. I mean,
that's a shot. Antoine Dillard.
Michael Kelly, the backup running back in.
Yeah, Mount Union's done a good job of containing Devon Cruz. 17 carries for 60 yards so far tonight. We got to spread the ball. We got to throw the ball, boys.
Lutz will do just that. Ratliff again. And Ratliff is out to the 40-yard line. 1st down, Bridgewater. Jason Perkins made the stop.
Yeah, Ratliff is Lutz's target, and I'll tell you what, Marcus Richardson does a nice job. He might have hurt himself, he might have hurt his hand, but he's trying to make a play. Not make a play catching the ball, making a play blocking downfield. You'll see Ratliff come back to the football. I love that. Now watch Marcus Richardson. He'll come into your screen right here. Try to throw a block there. That's it. Don't quit. Receivers block downfield equals big plays.
And Bridgewater needs a few more of those, that's for sure. 20 yards in the pickup. Ratliff has had a big night. 5 catches. Lutz Ratliff again, right at midfield. Flags go down. Just remember, it was Ratliff who drove to this game last year, watched it as a fan on his way out, found his coach Michael Clark, and he told him, Coach, we can play with these guys.
Great point. He's shown that he can play with them.
Here's Lutz. Look at Lutz go. He's inside the 35. He's down to the 32-yard line. Stan Watson made the stop.
Now quick point right here. Now there's 7:40 left on the clock. Excuse me, 7:50. You got to start being aware of the clock if you're Bridgewater.
Speaking of Lutz, he's the strongest player on this team.
Squats 540 pounds. I tell you, that's a good, nice little base. Strong, powerful legs and hips.
First and 15. Lutz with time, but nobody open. And it's incomplete. Oh boy, they work way too hard on this one.
Yeah, he squats.
You're 230?
Yeah.
All right. Wait.
On a good day.
Wait, what about Holly?
You're 158.
All right.
Is that soaking wet?
All right. Well, you do the math on Holly, will you?
Yeah.
Sorry, Holly. Lutz stepping up, delivering, and it's incomplete. And it will bring up 3rd down and 15. Truth be told, that graphic was Holly's idea.
That was a good idea by Holly.
Wasn't it, Holly?
You got to be honest, though, Holly. You're about 125.
Hey, I'll be honest, but you know what? I was talking to Jason before the game saying, do you really squat 546 or 540? He's like, no way, man. I squat 546. I said, you could squat our whole announce team. He's like, bring it down.
Oh, you can step up for the challenge. He's a strong guy. Tough competitor.
He needs 16 yards right now.
Yeah, 2-down territory. You don't have to get 16 right now. It's 2-down territory for them.
Andre Jones in motion. Lutz in trouble, and he goes down.
49ers got humbled a little bit by the Rams last week.
Third down and 9. That incompletion also stopped the clock. They're going to throw it again. Adamson with lots of time. Going to go deep for Candle, and it's caught by Candle. He took it away from the defensive back. Brad McCready had it initially, and Candle took it right away. It's a 49-yard pickup and a huge play for Mount Union.
Well, that's a backbreaker, and you see why sometimes you got to be a little bit lucky to win national championships. And McCready had the interception. He's doing a great job playing his free safety position, getting depth with getting deep as the deepest. And you'll see right here, he has the football in his hands. Right there. Both of them have it. Candle does not quit on it, makes a great play. That's why he's a great wide receiver, not quitting on a play.
Pugh outside. Does he stay in bounds? No, he's out of bounds. But he does have a healthy 9-yard pickup.
It's a good job by Dan Pugh. Being relaxed. I think he tried to stay in bounds. He's got to be aware he's on the football field, be aware of the clock, and stay in bounds. I'm sure there's a coach down there saying, hey, Dan, stay in bounds. Go down if you have to.
Next year, I think he'll be the guy that you hear an awful lot about. As Moore's a senior, Pugh is a junior. This Mount Union team used to be a chuck-it team. They threw it. And this year, the last couple of years with Chuck Moore, Larry Ferris said, we've become a ground-oriented team. We run it first.
That's a sign of a great coach to be able to adjust your offense to the players that you do have. Adamson will be back next year. I don't know. They might be a chuck-it team again next year with this kid.
I think you're right. That carry by Pugh was enough for the first down, and Chuck Moore. Now they're a chuck-it team tonight as well.
Yeah.
Because it's been Chuck right and Chuck left.
Look at Chuck. He's patting the guys on the head, the defenders after the guy tackles. Probably asking how you're doing. How's your studies going? That's a counter. Here you go. The power O right there. A good block by the lead blocker. That's Miller getting in there, getting in the way of Rodriguez. And again, not one guy bringing down Chuck. And Chuck's smart, you see, because he knows they're going to try to strip the football. See the good moves here, the patience in the cut. But watch it. As soon as he feels people around him, 2 hands on the ball, protect the football.
Moore has broken, by our count, 18 tackles tonight on his way to 248 yards. He won't break those tackles. Stops at the 4, but the clock a factor as it melts under 4 minutes.
Let's see Mount Union's clock management. See if they let that clock run down about 2 seconds before they snap the football. There's 31 carries. Last week he had, what, 47 carries?
Yeah. 47 last week for 237 yards.
Counting 4 games with this night, he's going to go over about 1,000 yards in 4 games. You can see why the kid rushed for 2,000. It's just an incredible feat to do that.
NFL Tonight is coming up here on ESPN2. 3.5 minutes left in this national championship game. Mount Union trying to finish the deal on 2nd and goal. Moore, or rather Pugh, and he stays in bounds this time. This will bring up a 3rd down and goal. Pugh stopped. Let's see if Bridgewater burns another timeout. They will. Adamson puts it up. Corner, caught, incomplete. Bridgewater holds, but now they've got to go 96 yards. Manage that clock. Lutz, incomplete. And it's 2nd down and 10. Procedure backs it up 5, so it's 2nd and 15.
Got to be a little bit more sense of urgency on Bridgewater. They got to get up to the ball. Let's go. Get going.
Lutz caught, and it's Ratliff. He's got the 1st down, and more. It's going to stop the clock as they move the chains. 19 yards.
It almost looked like his knee was down when he caught that football.
Chris Kern made the stop.
That's it. Line up. Get lined up.
Oh, there's an injured player down for Mount Union. That's going to keep the clock stopped.
Yeah, you'll take a look. I think his knee was down. Let's see. Yep, he's down. They got a nice break there. The officials missed that one a little bit. This guy right here, you got to see that.
That's really the first one they've missed tonight.
Yeah, that is. You got to see that, though. That's a big play. And I like it. Ratliff is playing with heart tonight. He was the one here, as Hawley pointed out, said, Coach Carter, why not us? And he got here. He's making the most of his opportunity. And in fact, he's one of the main contributors why they're back here in Salem for the championship game, this time as a participant. Brian Ratliff stepping up to the plate.
11 catches coming into the game. 6 catches, 146 yards in this one. Clock starts on ready for play. Lutz throwing on the move. Guess who? Ratliff, 1st down. And he sticks his head in it down to the 47. The pride of Timberville, Virginia. 14 yards on the pickup.
I like the way Lutz buys time with his feet. Gives himself a perfect angle to throw with his feet. Delivers the football to his favorite target tonight. Ratliff, don't forget about Marcus Richardson. The guy has the speed to go deep. He's looking for him.
Lutz going. Richardson there. He got it. Down to the 3-yard line.
Don't forget about Marcus Richardson. He has the speed to go deep. Another Mount Union guy down. Stops the clock for him again, along with the 1st down.
They mark it at the 3.
Not a bad time to run Devon Cruz right now.
Cruz. Lutz will keep it up, over, in. Touchdown, Bridgewater.
I tell you, they are persistent. They are tough, mentally tough, and physically tough. They believe. It's a huge extra point right now. Remember, he's missed one tonight. Had one blocked. Off the corner, they blocked one.
1:55 left. Bridgewater has 1 timeout left.
Right here, the block's coming from right there.
This one is good. And so Bridgewater College is within a field goal with 1:55 left. Back to Salem after this. And And an onside kick coming up. Here it is. Big hop covered. Mount Union gets it at the 48-yard line with 1:54 left. One timeout for Bridgewater. Barring a mistake, Chris, you suspect that Mount Union could just run the clock out here.
Yep. I tell you, Jason Richards, that's a tough play. That's a tough one to handle. He did. He secured the football, got down and covered it up. But you're right. They're going to use their one timeout. They might have an opportunity to get the ball back. They're going to use a play here. Now, you got to strip the ball. I mean, you got to strip it like there's no tomorrow, which there isn't in their football careers. They got to come and get the football.
They didn't think there would be a tomorrow last week. But a last-second touchdown pass provided one. Moore. Oh, boy, that could do it if he has the first down. He's right on the sticks, and I think Chuck Moore has the first down. Jermaine Taylor made the stop. Let's see where they mark it. Yeah, they mark it a yard short, and Bridgewater will burn that timeout.
Your Bridgewater, you get everybody for the quarterback sneak. I mean, walk up there, linebackers. It's a sneak.
They'll hand it to Moore, who busts across the 40, has the first down. That'll move the sticks and the clock, and this one is just about done. Poppy Rodriguez made the stop.
You know, I'd say it was a defense, as we mentioned. It wasn't going to be a game about defensive statistics. Nobody was stifling anybody. It was about the stops and the turnovers. I mean, we had two critical stops, one on a 4th down and goal situation in the 4th quarter. That actually gave us a chance and gave our offense a chance to run that thing back. It came down to an onside kick. Onside kicks, it's a question, do you get the bounce? And we didn't get the bounce. But, you know, it was just a great experience. It's something that, you know, the Bridgewater people still talk about. And, you know, I can remember walking out of the press box. This was an hour and a half after the game, after doing my show with Bill Phipps, the late Bill Phipps, and seeing one of my former players, Jason Bailey, that was a high production, high profile kid, him waiting for me at the bottom of the stands and just shaking my hand and saying, Coach, thank you for everything. And, you know, I kind of gave him a hug and said the same thing. And if I was to have to thank everybody that got me to that point, this would be a long tape.
Take a knee.
There's the knee. Clock will expire. And Larry Karras has done it again. The winningest coach in NCAA history has his 6th national championship in the last 9 years. Mount Union, national champs again of NCAA Division III football. But not without a fight from Bridgewater.